Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco, and we are conducting this interview sponsored by University of San Francisco Center for Asia Pacific Studies, short for CAPS. And our guest today is Lee Fang, and we want to thank you, Lee, for kind of joining our program to share your wisdom, your insights on adopting the enterprise AI system in your company. Please briefly introduce yourself and also your company.
Great. Thank you, Roger. Hi, everyone. My name is Lee Fan. I'm currently Chief Technology and AI Officer for Circle Internet Group. For those who don't know, Circle is a global financial technology company building economic operating systems for the internet. We're creating a neutral programmable layer for digital dollars and enable money to move with the same speed, transparency, and security as the information and data to do today. Now, in my role as a technology officer, I manage all the engineers, data scientists, and the tech ops in the company and build the product and the services. My another role as an AI officer, I set up the company's AI strategy, and I also lead a small AI team to execute and enable everyone in the company, whether tech or non-tech.
Thank you. Actually, that's such a great background, and we are really looking forward to kind of discuss your experience.
Discussion topic: helping/motivating people to adopt enterprise AI. Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
The next question, because earlier you talked about multiple times the workflow, in other words, actually, let's call it kind of an AI ready or AI enabled workflow. And naturally, people will think about those workflow will be different from the traditional human workflow. And, so people tend to think about the gaps, the difference, the conflicts, which causes the people, the employee to push back or not willing to make change. So I would like to ask your experience on this. Do you encounter such kind of a gaps between the traditional human workflow versus the AI-enabled workflow? And if you do encounter this kind of a conflict or even pushback, and how do you resolve that? Could you elaborate on that part?
Yeah, so I would say there's a difference. And I do see people's understanding might be different, and it takes a lot of some of the training and education, but less on the pushback. Let me elaborate. I think when we start the journey, we do recognize some of the function, their understanding of AI, frankly speaking, is more at the automation. It's less on the AI intelligence. I recognize they don't understand the difference of automation and AI making the intelligent decision, but that's okay. I keep telling my AI team, don't worry. Even if people conflict together, first thing is, even if just automation is a great step forward. Because my goal, I tell the AI transformation team, the goal ultimately is not to say, again, using AI for the sake of AI. The goal is to make sure that companies can move more efficiently, productive, and utilize AI whenever people feel like they can
It's
utilize.
a tool. Ultimately, it's a tool, right?
It's ultimately still a tool right now. And we constantly make sure people understand what you need to achieve is not looking for places to plug in AI. Instead of, you need to think of a different way. Say, okay, this is my job. My job is not 10 steps of this process. My job is to ultimately achieve that goal. In the past, maybe you need to do 10 steps, but now, knowing all the examples and the trainings we give to you, how can you redesign a workflow and plug in AI? Now, that again takes some training and iteration, but the most important thing is to let people focus on the ultimate goal and the jobs to be done instead of focus on what they've been doing. I think that switch is a little bit tricky, and some people get it immediately, some people don't, because they were like, oh, how can I make sure that step is not slow or something? But even with that, I keep telling my engineer, don't feel frustrated. That's already a step forward. So you have to have the empathy how people think. And I
Yeah.
do feel what's very effective is show them examples. One thing I feel very effective is we run company-wide show and tell. We
Show
have
and tell.
all
Yeah.
hands and make sure, and we actually make sure that the winning teams, many are from non-tech team, and people just share like what they use AI, and you give other people ideas. We have company-wide hackathon, and I encourage engineer pair with non-engineer team because non-engineer team have a lot of ideas, they just don't know how to do it. So I think that also again give people a lot of creative ideas. Say, oh, I didn't know AI can do this. So you just need to push, give them ideas, and then more and more people will get on the wagon. I think the challenge is not pushback, say, I don't want to change it. It's more of a struggle, say, I don't have time. Because when my big boss say, you should do this job. Now there's two options, right? You do your own way and you know exactly how to do it. Or you say, hey, maybe I can rethink about how to AI solve it, but you don't know when and how fast AI can help you. You kind of have a sense AI will be
Yeah.
better, but you don't know. And if the boss say, I need you finish it within a week, a lot of people will fall back to say, okay, let me do my old way. You know what I mean? So it's
It's a
very
safe, very safe. Yes.
very safe. So to do that, and again, I would say we do have a top-down mandate and a support. Our talent team design, we have a recharge day I think it's every quarter. And for example, last year, end of last year, we have the whole week encourage people say, this is a week, we call it recharge week. It's not for you to take a vacation. Instead, we want you to utilize that whole week to improve yourself, pick up a new
Yeah.
skill. Most likely, we want you to learn AI and learn in your space how AI can help you. And there's no definition of what you're going to do, but we just want to make sure that you do something that you improve your AI skill. So with all those support, and we can tell people, say, from the new year, now we give you, and also we're gonna we do quarterly training, we do monthly all hands meeting to constant tell people that what's the new AI update and the new AI tool is supported here, so that you make sure that you know you have the best support in the company. But the struggle is there. I just want to acknowledge that. But again, the leaders, and my job is to encourage the leaders so that they can encourage their team to say, hey, take a step uh, backwards, and not take a step back and think about what can I improve my AI skills so that I can do this job differently.
Great. So actually, now talking about this, Uli, you mentioned about the now you put the, adopting AI as part of the KPI or OKR. Could you like give us one or two examples of what's in the OKR? Because I can also feel that give some kind of pressure to the functional leader to adopt the AI in the area. So could you give us an example, maybe one or two example about what do you put in in the OKR to encourage them or even force them to adopt AI.
Yeah, so I can share like say last quarters, last half years, like 2025, the later half's OKR. We have one calling out the engineer productivity improvement, and the measurement is very clear. The ticket closing rate needs to be 15%. We actually exceeded with like 28% ticket closing time. So we exceeded the OKR. We have an OKR to say um, every function have at least two workflow that utilize
Oh, that's
AI,
a
and
very numerical
very
measure.
numeric, and also at least, I believe, at least 20% improvement in terms of productivity. Now, that again, the productivity definition, we let the function to define.
Define.
It can be time, it can be resource engaged. So every function is different, but we have a central tracking, right? I think we achieved a 70% project reach that goal, and there's like 10 or 20% delayed because of something else. We allow delayed things happen, and
Yeah,
as long
yeah,
as
yeah,
we
yeah.
know why. Again, I think the transparency is the most important thing. And things happen. I always say OKR is not meant to be 100% achieved,
No,
but
right.
OKR is a way to be transparent and let other people to monitor what you do. So I think that's how we achieve that. Yeah.
I think that's great. Actually, that kind of is very valuable insights to help our students to learn as well as other companies to kind of manage this journey.
Thank you for watching.